Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be making my predictions for game week number 2 of the 26-27 Premier League season. But before we begin, let's see how I did last week. I got one outcome correct. I got Arsenal beating Coventry City 3-0 correct, the first game of the season, plus 2 more outcomes correct, so that's 5 points for last week. And this is how the table looks after the opening set of fixtures this season. And without further ado, let's predict this weekend. And we're going to start with Crystal Palace up against Manchester City in, well, a battle of two sides that nearly lost last week. Crystal Palace did lose 2-0 to Everton, which, was a bit of a surprise, I guess. Everton off to a good start. Manchester City turning around the deficit and having a last-minute winner 2-1 against Bournemouth last week. I know it's at Selhurst Park, but I do fancy Man City more here. Both these sides do seem to be in struggle town a little bit, but I just look at the quality that Man City have, and I just think Man City will just have the quality to get over the line here. Back Man City to win 2-1. I think Palace could give them a bit of a game, but ultimately I do think the blue side of Manchester will celebrate victorious. 2-1 Man City. And then we move on to Saturday's early kickoff, 12:30. It is Liverpool against Nottingham Forest in, well, another battle of two new managers getting used to their new clubs. Andoni Iraola now at Liverpool, Oliver Glasner now at Forest. Of course, over the last couple of seasons, Forest have been quite good going to Anfield. Managed to get wins over the line and results over the line. But I just think that Liverpool will want to come here and get a result, especially with that 2-2 draw against Newcastle. Forest losing 1-0 to Leeds over the weekend. I can just see this going one way, to be honest. I know this might be stupid given Forest's history at Anfield recently, but I'm backing Liverpool to win 2-0. I think they'll keep a clean sheet and ultimately get 4 points on the board. 2-0 to Liverpool. Next up, we've got Coventry City against Hull City in a big, huge battle for relegation survival. But Coventry losing 3-0 to Arsenal like I predicted. Hull beating 2-0, beating Manchester United 2-0. That I didn't see coming, I'll be honest. But all the momentum seems to be on Hull's side at the minute. Though in the Carabao Cup in midweek, Coventry beat Plymouth 4-2 and Hull beat Stoke. But in the Championship last season, both of the games between these two sides ended 0-0. I think there could be goals here in the Premier League, especially both sides going for survival, but ultimately I do think I'm going to go down the middle again with a 1-1 draw this time. I think both sides will be, well, a draw would be a lot better result for Hull, but I think a point apiece is what's going to happen in this one. 1-1. Next up, we've got Bournemouth against Everton in a battle of two sides who, it's hard to predict this game actually, because Bournemouth nearly beat Man City last weekend, 1-0 up for a long time, and then Man City turned it around to win 2-1, but nearly so good. And Everton beat Crystal Palace 2-0 at the Hill Dickinson. But it's at the Vitality, and Bournemouth do still look impressive this season. They've got Europe to contend with this year as well, but ultimately I do think that I can't separate the two again. I'll go down the middle with another 1-1 draw on this one. I think both sides will be fairly happy at this stage of the season to shake hands and take a point each, 1-1. Next up, we've got Tottenham Hotspur against Newcastle United. And well, this is interesting. Spurs losing 3-0 to Brentford on the opening week. Newcastle with a 2-2 draw against Liverpool. I mean, all signs do point towards Newcastle, especially with, Spurs being pretty poor at home. But they did just hammer Charlton 6-1 in the Carabao Cup midweek. And I think, is there a such thing with Spurs as home advantage? I guess there is. And on their day, Spurs can show up at home and get a result. I'm not going to go all out for a win, but I'll go for another high-scoring draw. Back-to-back 2-2 draws for Newcastle. I think it's going to be another 2-2 draw on this one. I can't separate the two. I would pick Newcastle if I had to pick a winner, but ultimately I think Spurs with slight home advantage will get a point over the line. 2-2. Next up, we've got Chelsea against top-of-the-table Brighton in, interesting matchup. Matchup of two sides who seem to take each other's players. Chelsea with a bonkers 3-2 win against Fulham on Monday. That was maybe game of the week last week. And, Brighton absolutely smashed Aston Villa 4-0 to go top of the league. It's tricky, because as impressive as Brighton were, at Stamford Bridge, I think Chelsea might make things difficult. I think Chelsea might actually get out of here with a win here. I back Chelsea to win it 2-1. I think Brighton might give them a game, but ultimately I think Chelsea will take the 3 points in the end. 2-1 to Chelsea. Next up, we've got Leeds United against Brentford in a battle of two sides who could well be pushing for Europe this season. Leeds with a 1-0 win last minute against Nottingham Forest. Brentford, as I say, 3-0 victors against Tottenham on, is it Saturday? This one's interesting as well, because, Brentford have been smashing teams apart recently, but it is at Ellen Road, and Leeds do look impressive as well. I think that, James Trafford and Kelleher, two great goalkeepers. I think with Trafford in goal, it might be very cagey. I'm going to go down the middle again with a 1-1 draw on this one. I think both sides will be fairly content with a draw and move on to next week and try and win again. But 1-1 is one gun on this one. Next up, we've got Sunderland against Fulham in, a battle of two sides who lost last week. Sunderland losing to Ipswich, was it 2-1, I think, and Fulham losing 3-2 to Chelsea. Fulham did look impressive against Chelsea, but Sunderland are at home. It is at the Stadium of Light, and we know what home advantage can do for Sunderland. Of course, European season is just around the corner as well, but I think Sunderland needs to, make hay while the sun's out, and I think they will get the win here. I'm just going to back Sunderland with home advantage to win 2-1. I think, this game, it's another one that could go either way, but ultimately I am backing the Black Cats to edge it 2-1 and get points on the board. Next up, we've got Manchester United against Ipswich Town in a battle of two sides with differing results last game week. Man United losing 2-0 to Hull, Ipswich with a 2-1 win over Sunderland. This one's interesting. I wonder with Michael Carrick I mean, all was fun when he was the interim manager last season, but now that he's the, full-time manager, I wonder if things are going to start to go south for Man United again here. I mean, on paper, Hull and Ipswich is maybe the nicest start you can have to the Premier League season, but they've already lost to Hull. Ipswich look impressive as well. But with all that being said, it is at Old Trafford, and as I say, on their day, Man United can very well show up and get a result. So I'm going to back the Red Devils here. I'm going to back Man United to edge it 2-1, but it wouldn't surprise me if Ipswich came and got a result here. But 2-1 to the Red Devils at home is where I'm going on this one. And then finally, we've got Monday night's game, 8 PM kickoff. It's Aston Villa against Arsenal in, well, battle of two sides who are opposite ends of the table, really. Villa losing 4-0 to Brighton last week. Arsenal with a 3-0 win over Coventry on the opening night. I mean, for its debut, João Gomez for Villa sent off. What debut match that was for him. Arsenal, they just seem to be strengthening, don't they? I think it's like last season, Villa got off to a slow start and then managed to get the ball rolling under Unai Emery, but they are in Champions League football this season, and that could hamper them, which is why I expected a little bit of a drop off from Villa this season. Arsenal, I think, as I said at the start, I think will reclaim their title this season, and they've got off to a great start, and I think they'll continue that. 2 wins from 2. I'll back Arsenal to win it 2-1. I think Villa might give them a game, but I think Arsenal might claim the 3 points. 2 wins from 2 to start the title defence for Arsenal. And there you have it, guys. All 10 of this weekend's Premier League matches predicted. I'd love to know your predictions in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll be back next week to predict Gameweek 3 and review how I did on this set of matches. But until then, I'll see you all in the next one.